Hey VC, Jack here. Welcome to Vinyl Martini. I was just going to do a normal video today, but I thought, this idea would make a fantastic thread. Now, as you can see from the title of the video, these are records that I have not listened to for at least 35 years. They've been hidden away in my collection. And it wasn't hard to find them. I've got, whatever, I got a lot of records. But there's so many that you, as you're going through your records, you say, oh yeah, I should listen to that. I'll pull it out. One day I will do that. Well, today is the day. Now, maybe you don't have records in your collection that you haven't listened to for 35 years, but maybe you've got records in there you haven't listened to in 2 years or 5 years or 10 years. Whatever the case is, we've all got records in our collection that we haven't listened to. So why don't you, if you want to join this thread, I pulled out 10 records. You have to pull out 10 records. Why don't you pull out 5 records? That's a little bit manageable. And give them a listen, give them a review, and give them the thumbs up, give them the thumbs down. And should be fun. Okay, let's get started. First up, I'm not taking anything out of the sleeves because I've got notes on the back of some of these and I don't want to lose my notes. But anyways, Mississippi John Hurt. This is on Biograph Records. I bought this such a long time ago. Biograph is a great label. Country blues, this is Mississippi John Hurt, 1928, his first recordings. What a fantastic, fantastic record. Mississippi John Hurt, of course, from Mississippi, recorded these sides in 1928 for OK Records, which was owned by Columbia. Recorded some in Memphis, some in New York City. And before he could get his fame, I guess, the Depression hit, and he went back to Mississippi, back into obscurity. Wasn't rediscovered until the late 50s. He made an appearance at the Newport Jazz Festival in 1963, did some touring, and unfortunately, I think he passed away in 1967 at the age of 75. Like I said, country blues, just him and acoustic guitar, him singing. These were recorded from 78, so the sound quality is not exactly high tech. With some pops and clicks. That's to be normal, I guess. But fantastic. He does some great. All these sides are great, by the way. Frankie, a song called Frankie, Ain't No Tellin', Avalon Blues. He does a great version of Stack-a-Lee Blues. Got the Blues That Can't Be Satisfied. Blessed Be the Name. And Spike Driver Blues. Fantastic. I am going to be pulling up more of my country blues albums in light of this. Just fantastic record. It's not going to go back in my collection and not be heard from again in 35 years. That's for sure. None of these records are. Found some great, great bangers. And some, at the very least, they're very good records. Anyways, this is a guy called Steve Swendell's. The album is called Fresh Blood. It's a 1980s release. Steve Swendell's was part of the band called Pilot. I think he did a couple of records with them. He was also briefly with the Hawkwind. They weren't called Hawkwind when he toured with them. They were called the Hawk Lords, but he was briefly with them. And this is his first solo record on Atco Records, released, like I said, released in 1980. And when I first started listening to it, I thought it was a little bit post-punk, new wave-ish. But it's not really. It's more, and I hate this term, it's more pub rock. He really reminds me of Joe Jackson or Graham Parker. It's more acoustic album, some keyboards, some synths, but very, very few synths. 1980 is like sort of the new wave start of the synthy sound. But there's some great, great songs on here. Fresh Blood, I Feel Alive, Low Life Joe, Bitter and Twisted, Is It Over Now? Is really, really great. He recorded another record. It was rejected by the record company, and he went on to become a journalist, a DJ, a music producer. He's still creating music now, but a really interesting guy. I've seen this kicking around. You can easily find it for $2. Don't see it very often, but it's well worth a listen. If you see it, pick it up for cheap. It's good if you like music in that vein. Next, Genesis' first album, From Genesis to Revelation. This was never released in North America till after Foxtrot and their first 3 records. And this is a beautiful German copy. They weren't doing this kind of stuff, this theatrical stuff when they first formed, but it's more folky, not very heavy, and Peter Gabriel hasn't really found his vocal chops. I mean, you can definitely tell it's Peter Gabriel, but Peter Gabriel has one of the most powerful voices in rock, in my opinion, or in prog, or whatever genre you want to put him in. But there's echoes of really, really great things to come. And the players, the band members, haven't really mastered their instruments. They're really working on it, sort of very basic, but songs like In the Beginning, The Serpent, they haven't got their prog hooks happening here yet. They sort of have one foot in US psych and one foot in the burgeoning prog scene. Am I Very Wrong it's got a great acoustic bed track on it. You can tell it's the beginnings of later Genesis, the kind of bed tracks that they would use on the following records. Yeah, and Peter is still a pretty tenuous vocalist on this record. Would I recommend it? Only for diehard Genesis fans, but if you are a diehard fan, you can easily find the American version. Like I said, this is a beautiful German pressing that I got after I got into Genesis many, many years ago. Genesis, from Genesis to Revelation. Next up, The Rascals, and this album is called Peaceful World. I've shown this record cover before as part of it was either a questionnaire, like show a record cover that's based on a famous painting. And of course, this is a painting by Paul Gauguin. And I stupidly, I used it for that purpose, and I just slid it back in my collection. But anyways, the Rascals, of course, used to be the Young Rascals. You know, they many AM hits, and they used to wear knickerbockers and these poor boy hats. And that was back in the day when Jay and the Americans and lots of American bands had to have these kind of costumes, looking really, as you look back on it, it's pretty silly. But this is a double album released in 1971. The Rascals recorded one record before this in 1970, I believe, and I have that. It's not as good as this one. This one is just fantastic. It is funk, R&B, very, very jazzy. It was a staple on FM radio when it was released, and I've played it many times, but I haven't played it in many, many years, and I could kick myself because it's a great record. There's some great songs on here. Sky Train on here. He's got the Tower of Power horns playing with him. Kind of a soulful competition to the Temptations, Donny Hathaway, etc. Felix Cavallari was the singer in the Young Rascals. He's the genius behind the Rascals, and very, very soulful voice. And the last track on side 4, Mother Nature Land, man, what a beast of a song that is. So if you see this around, I've seen it around, it's usually kind of beat up actually. But if you find a nice clean copy, this is a fantastic must-have if you like soul, jazz, and funk. The Rascals and Peaceful World. Next up, one of my favorite acoustic guitar players, and that's John Fehee. And this is called John Fehee and his orchestra, After the Ball. Now, one of the reasons that I probably haven't played this is the cover. It's sort of totally misrepresentative of what's inside. There's some great acoustic songs on here, and truly he plays on a few songs, he plays with a lot of horns and a larger band, but it's not a big band sound. It's only about 3 songs, and it is typical John Fehee acoustic guitar. He is a master of the acoustic guitar. It's kind of mistitled. The cover is badly judged. It's a very, very good album. A kind of New Orleans influence in here. Beverly is an excellent acoustic guitar number, and there's a song on here on side 1 called Om Shanti Norris. Great banjo playing on there as well. So this is going to go back in the collection, but I'm going to be pulling it out more often for sure. It's not going to be a forgotten record. From now on, John Fehee. Uh, sorry, I got the stickers on this, but this is Jethro Tull. Minstrels in the Gallery, 1975, I believe. Not one of their strongest records. I think it just kind of lacks hooks. A lot of the songs are acoustic, and of course, Jethro Tull is based a lot on traditional English folk music, and then kicks into electric prog. But the album's a little bit directionless. Like I said, the songs just lack a hook. Valhalla is one of the songs that comes to mind. Requiem is an acoustic number, more like a Tudor song, but Black Satin, Martin Barre plays a wicked guitar on there, so that is just worth the money for the record right there. Of course, there's some straight English folk on here, and the last song on side 2. Sorry, I can't even talk today. Black Satin Dancer is a kick-ass song, yeah, and it's mixed with strings, which back in the day I didn't really like it when people put strings on their songs, but as I gotten older, I can see how it sweetens the song up and adds a fuller sound, and kind of really like that song because of that. So, Minstrels in the Gallery, Jethro Tull, not their best record, but not their worst record either. I've got about 10 Jethro Tull's records. I'm far from a completist with Jethro Tull, but I am going to go back, on the basis of that, I'm going to go back and listen to some of the Jethro Tull records that I don't listen to very often. Next up is a record that I played to death when I first got it. I haven't played it in a long time, but that is, of course, the great Chick Corea, Return to Forever, Romantic Warrior, jazz fusion at its finest. What a lineup on this record here. Chick Corea, Stanley Clarke on bass, Lenny White on drums, and Al Di Meola on guitar, and they are tearing it up here. Side 2 is like super great. Majestic Dance, The Magician, Duel of the Jester and the Tyrant. Fantastic stuff. I've gotten away from jazz fusion a little bit in the last 10 years or so, but I am going to start picking up my jazz fusion records and giving them another listen, because great stuff. Fantastic playing, of course. Goes without saying, doesn't it? Got 3 more, and I've got 3 more really, maybe records by artists that you haven't heard before. This is a copy of Jules and the Polar Bears, Got No Breeding. It's from 1978. His first record, Jules Shear is the main guy. He writes the songs. He is the vocalist. Great band. Kind of reminds me of a little bit of, as I was listening to it, I was saying, there's somebody that it really reminds me of. Who is it? And I thought it was like a little bit like Niels Lofgren. I thought a little bit like Bob Geldof from the Boomtown Rats. And then about halfway through, I said, no, it's like Ray Davies from the Kinks, for sure. And not an exact copy, but very influenced by Ray Davies, I think. You hear a little bit of Bruce Springsteen in there, maybe a little bit of Bob Dylan. But great songs. They never sold it. They never sold anything. I think they did another record after this. Again, it didn't sell, and then they were dropped by the label. Jules Shear went on to a solo career. But this record is... yeah, really great. It was a critical favorite of the critics when it came out. I remember reading that. There's no turkeys on this record at all. Well-crafted songs, and it kind of falls in that place, just sort of after punk from 1977 to 80, and then new wave, and the new wave explosion took over. But it's right in the middle there. So really good record. Highly recommended. I can't remember where I got this record. And I must have bought it used, because it's got a sticker from Driftwood Records, which must be a record store in Toronto. And I had no recollection of ever going to Driftwood Records. But maybe somebody from Toronto knows where Driftwood Records was. You can let me know in the comments. So, well worth it. Jules and the Polar Bears, Got No Breeding, their first record. This is Stone Cold Killer. Guy called Monk Higgins, jazz guy. Monk is from Arkansas. He started playing the tuba, I think, in high school. Monk is a big man, or was a big man. He's not alive anymore. But he was something like 6'3", 265 pounds. And he was the he was the only kid in school that could handle the tuba in the marching band. So he got his musical start playing tuba. He went on to college, and he plays keyboards. He's a music arranger, music writer, and this is a beautiful soul, jazz, gospel album. He does a couple of covers on here. He does Treats Her Like a Lady, fantastic song by Eddie Cornelius, and Wichita Lineman. But he really shines on his own compositions. Libra's Way, Up on the Hill, Feeling You, Feeling Me, and Gotta Be Funky. Those 4 tunes are excellent. This does not kick ass. It's like kind of very laid back, but great groove on here. I bought this new, and you know what? I still got the shrink on it. And even though it's got a nice little sticker on the shrink, it says a musical experience. I bought it for $1. You can see that's written on marker crayon. I'm just going to take it out of the shrink, man, because it is in great shape. The shrink just hides all that. Of course, you can see it was in the delete bin. Fantastic record. I don't know why I don't know why I haven't listened to this in 35 years or 40 years. But the album, I forgot to tell you the title. It's called Heavyweight. And there's a picture of Monk Higgins right there. Banger of a record. So happy that I decided to do a video like this. That was just absolutely astonishing. Fantastic. And last but not least, Jeremy Spencer and the Children. Jeremy Spencer, of course, guitar player for Fleetwood Mac back in the blues days, and when in Fleetwood Mac 2. He was touring with them on the album, their 1972 record or 1971 record, and they were in LA, and Jeremy Spencer just disappeared. Nobody knew where he went. And he wasn't kidnapped by the Children of God. The Children of God were a religious cult, and they were very active in recruiting new members, and they were very successful in finding alienated kids, runaways, etc. I remember, I'll just tell you a little story. I used to work on Yonge Street. And Yonge Street in Toronto is like Sunset Strip in Hollywood. It's kind of the place where kids from the suburbs go to meet their dreams. For example, there's strip joints, there's bars, there's head shops. And the Children of God were very well dressed, very well spoken, and they would walk up and down Yonge Street looking for kids, looking for recruits to join their religion, or that should read cult. Anyways, Jeremy, I think he had some drug problems, and I think he had some psychosis problems, but there he was with the Children of God. He never went back to play with Fleetwood Mac, but he did record this album in 1972, and it is called Jeremy Spencer and the Children, and it is a pretty good record. What a cover, right? That's a great cover. The back there. What do I have written? It's kind of country, folk rock. Probably doesn't explain it, but at times he's got like a 3-guitar attack. He's got 2 other guitars playing with him. The vocals are a little bit reedy and thin, but the musicianship is fantastic. Couple of great songs on here. The World in Her Heart, The Prophet, Joan of Arc is a great instrumental. So maybe probably the lyrics are a little bit maybe proselytizing, but hey, listen, he's with the Children of God. You kind of expect that. But if you can get beyond that, great musical record. And I've got a couple of Jeremy Spencer records that I am going to pull out in light of just listening to this one. So there you go. 10 records that I haven't listened to in 35 years, at least 35 years. Hope somebody takes up the challenge or picks up the thread. If you do, drop me a note. I am pre-recording this album because I am going in for some surgery tomorrow. Nothing serious, just surgery on my hand. I've got this little finger is just turning into a claw, so they're going to fix that up, and I will be uploading this later on in the week, because I don't know, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. My hand's going to be heavily bandaged. I know that. So until then, yeah, have a great week, and we will talk to you later. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching.